What if I told you there's a simple, almost effortless way to make her feel like you're the one without trying too hard? No games, no complicated tricks, no need to win her over with flashy gestures, just 2 words. And these words, they don't just make her think about you. They make her feel something deep inside, something that sticks with her long after you're gone. Imagine after a casual conversation, she finds herself replaying your words in her mind. She's at work, hanging out with her friends, or going about her day, and yet somewhere in the back of her mind, you're there. Not because of what you said, but because of how you made her feel. It's not magic, it's not some mysterious force. It's simply knowing the right words to say, at the right time words that when spoken with authenticity and genuine intent, tap into something that makes her drawn to you in a way she can't explain. Want to know what those 2 words are? Well, stick around, because I'm about to share them with you, along with the secret of how they can completely transform the way she sees you. Welcome back to Stoic Paradox, the place where we dive deep into the powerful, quiet influence of true masculine presence. I'm Amelia, and today we're unlocking a game-changing secret that most men miss entirely. I'm talking about 2 words that, when said with the right energy, will make her think about you, feel something for you, and maybe even go crazy for you. We've all heard the advice: be confident, show interest, make grand gestures, and always play it cool. But here's the truth. True attraction isn't about playing games or trying to impress her with your flashy moves. No, it's about resonating with her on a deeper, emotional level. It's about showing up in a way that makes her feel like she's the most important person in the room. And those 2 words, they create that resonance. Now, these words may seem simple, even mundane on the surface, but don't be fooled. I remember is a phrase that goes beyond just recalling a fact. It's about making her feel seen, making her feel heard, and letting her know that you've been paying attention, not just to what she says, but to who she really is. And that's what we're going to explore today. I'll walk you through how saying "I remember" in the right way can instantly set you apart from other guys who are just trying to impress. More than that, we'll dive into why these 2 words have such a profound impact on her emotional world and how you can use them to create a deeper, lasting connection. If you're tired of the same old advice that never seems to work and you're ready to level up your understanding of attraction, hit that like button, subscribe, and let's get into it. Because once you understand the power of these 2 words, you'll not only know how to make her think about you, you'll also know how to make her feel something real, something she won't be able to forget. The 2 words I'm talking about are "I remember." At first glance, it might seem like such a simple phrase. After all, anyone can say it right, but when you understand the deeper impact these words can have, you'll see why they have the power to shift the entire dynamic of your relationship. Let me explain why "I remember" is so powerful. Think about the times in your life when you felt truly seen and understood. Maybe it was a friend, a loved one, or someone who really paid attention to you. Chances are it wasn't the big, grand gestures or the flashy compliments that made you feel special. It was the moments when someone recalled something small but meaningful. The time you mentioned your love for a certain book, that quiet passion you have for a hobby, or how you shared a personal experience that shaped who you are. Those little moments, those tiny bits of information, mean more to us than we sometimes realize. When you say "I remember," you're not just pulling a random fact out of thin air. You're showing that you've listened, that you've cared enough to retain the details that matter to her. It's not about trying to impress her by memorizing things she said. It's about showing her that you value the things she shared with you, that you're paying attention to her as a whole person and not just someone who exists in your life momentarily. These words are deeply powerful because they allow you to connect with her on a level that goes beyond superficiality. While most men are busy trying to win her over with flashy compliments or grand gestures, you're taking a different approach. You're showing that your attraction to her isn't about her appearance or her role in your life. It's about the small, meaningful details that make her who she is. Let's say she shared with you that she's always wanted to take a solo trip to Europe but hasn't found the time. A few weeks later, when you're talking, you could say, "I remember you mentioning that you've always wanted to travel to Europe on your own. Do you have any plans for that yet?" That simple statement will do more than just remind her that you were listening. It'll make her feel heard, validated, and emotionally connected to you in a way that only a few people ever manage to do. Why it works? So, why do I remember words hold such significance? It's all about emotional resonance. When you say, "I remember," you're tapping into something much deeper than casual conversation. You're acknowledging the emotional weight of what she shared with you. You're demonstrating that you haven't just heard her words, you've absorbed them and taken them to heart. It's a form of deep empathy that most men miss out on because they are too busy trying to impress or dominate the conversation. Here's the truth. Most people are terrible listeners. They're either distracted by their phones, thinking about what they're going to say next, or simply not paying attention to the other person. And that's where the magic of "I remember" comes in. When you say it, you're doing what so many others don't. You're letting her know that what she said mattered. You're not just moving through the conversation and on to the next thing. You're holding space for her words and you're making her feel like her thoughts and feelings have weight. But there's a layer to this that goes even deeper. Genuine connection. When you use "I remember," you're not just triggering a sense of being heard. You're creating an emotional bond that's difficult to break. Why? Because people don't just want attention. They want meaningful attention. They want to feel like someone has really taken the time to understand them. Not just on a surface level, but on a deeper emotional frequency. "I remember" does just that. It makes her feel that connection, that spark, and that emotional closeness, which is at the core of lasting attraction. The beauty of these words is that they open doors. They invite her to share more, to express herself more openly, and to feel like she's in a safe space with you. And in relationships, that's invaluable. Because when you create that level of intimacy, when you show that you remember the little things, you're making her feel like she matters to you. And that's something she'll never forget, how to use it in your life. Now that you understand the power behind "I remember," let's talk about how to use it effectively in your conversations and relationships. Listen deeply. The first step is to be a good listener. You can't say "I remember" if you haven't actually been paying attention, so be present in your conversations. Listen, not just to her words, but to the emotions behind them. What is she really trying to express? What matters most to her? When you can tap into the deeper layers of what she's sharing, you're giving yourself the opportunity to make her feel seen. Timing is key. Don't force. "I remember" into a conversation just for the sake of it. The beauty of this phrase lies in how you use it at just the right moment. It's when she shared something personal, something that shows you her values, her interests, or her life experiences. If you recall something important to her at the perfect time, she'll feel the emotional weight of it. This isn't about using it to get attention. It's about highlighting the significance of her words in a way that feels authentic. Use it as an invitation. Saying "I remember" is a great way to encourage deeper conversations. When you bring up something she shared with you, you're inviting her to dive deeper into her thoughts, to share more about her experiences, and to open up about things that matter to her. It's a way of saying, "I'm here for the real you." Don't overdo it. If you constantly say "I remember," it might come off as rehearsed. The key is to say it when it feels genuine. If every other sentence is you recalling something she said, it can start to feel forced. So sprinkle these moments in naturally. Use them to punctuate significant moments in your conversation to show that you've been truly listening and that you care. follow through. If you remember something important to her, like a goal, a trip, or a dream, don't just leave it at the "I remember" stage. Follow up on it. Ask her how things are going. Offer your support and show her that you care enough to not just remember, but to continue to be there in her life. By using "I remember" in the right way, you're not only elevating your connection with her, you're showing her that you're someone who values her beyond surface level interactions. You're creating a bond that's grounded in respect, empathy, and emotional depth. And that kind of bond, it's magnetic. Before we wrap up, I want you to take a moment and think about how you can use these 2 words in your life. I remember as a tool for connection, for showing her that you're not just another guy who's passing through. You're the kind of man who sees her, who listens deeply and who cares out the little things that truly matter. But it's not enough to just know these words. You've got to use them. So I want you to make a commitment to yourself right now. The next time you have a conversation with her, remember to use these 2 words to create real emotional resonance. Test them out and pay close attention to how she responds. I guarantee you'll start seeing a shift in the dynamic between you two. Now, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Have you ever used "I remember" in your relationships before? How did it change the way she interacted with you? Or maybe you've got a story about how you felt deeply connected to someone who remembered the little things about you. Drop a comment below and let me know. I'm excited to hear your experiences. And if you haven't already, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notifications so you never miss out on more powerful tips to elevate your presence, your relationships, and your connection with the people who matter most. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's video on Stoic Paradox. I hope these insights help you step into your true masculine power and show up as the kind of man who doesn't need to chase or impress. Instead, you're creating meaningful, deep connections that leave a lasting mark. If you're looking for more videos that break down the power of quiet confidence and emotional depth, be sure to check out some of our other content. And remember, true attraction isn't about the flashy things you do or say. It's about how you make her feel when you show up as the most authentic, grounded version of yourself. So until next time, keep growing. Stay present and never underestimate the power of genuine connection. I'm Amelia, and this is Thanks for Watching.